So I had a really nice letter in the mail the other day.
Oh, was it a government letter?
No, it was not.
Oh.
I sold a guy a horse. Oh my God. Years ago, he couldn't keep it. Sold it to another guy. This guy calls me and says, "Hey, there's this horse for sale. There, people are moving. What do you think of him?" And his little horse, you might remember, his name was Eclipse. Remember
Mm-hmm.
him, little black horse? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guy bought him, and he's had him.
Who owned him?
I don't remember who bought him originally. It was, but it was because it was your dad, your grandpa that sold the horse to somebody else. And this guy contacted me and says, "Hey, this guy can't keep me. He's got to move," or something went on. Anyway, I got to know him. He sent a letter in the mail. I think it got here yesterday, or the day before, and opened it up. I thought, "Who is this? A handwritten?" Nobody handwrites envelopes anymore,
No.
except me. And
Oh,
opened it
envelopes?
up. Yeah, with the addresses on it, and it went, and it says, "Hey, good to see you, or good to hear you. I just want to share this with you. You remember this horse I had?" And he said he called him Eddie Raven. He called the horse that after a singer. And he was in a clinic that we did with the Brown Crow videos, and participated in that. And he goes, "I got to tell you," he says, "I just had to put him down.
Oh,
He's
really?
Yeah, and he's like 20 some years old." And he goes,
Is he that old?
Yeah, I know." And he's telling me, or writing in here about it. And he said, "Man, this horse gave me such a good life. I hope I gave him as equally as good a life." Basically, just went on about it. And said there was a couple times he put me on the ground, and he said every time it was my fault. And that he, riding with people, and they'd have to trot, keep up. I mean, just couldn't do. I mean, just singing this horse's praises. And he said, now he's got to be approaching 70 years old. And right at towards the very end of it, he writes, he says, I buried him out here and put him in this grave. And he said, I threw my spurs and my hat down in it and covered him up.
Oof, that's heavy.
Oh, isn't that powerful?
Yeah.
This was a guy that was a novice when he got that horse. And I know he loved that horse. I knew right after they made such a connection. And I was like, oh God. So I'm gonna write him back. I thought that was, we get stuff like that back occasionally. People will call and say, "Hey, your horse that you trained hasn't been ridden in 2-3 years, and so jumped on him, and it was like he was ridden
Yeah.
yesterday." I mean, that happened. We get that all the time, but you don't have quite that emotional, that kind of grabbed me,
Well, I mean, it clearly meant something to him because
yeah,
he freaking did it with a handwritten letter.
right. Yeah, no, that's
You
right.
know, what'd
So
you do with
yeah,
the letter?
I got it. I'll keep it. I'll put it in
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
file.
say I'd keep that for sure.
I mean, that's really nice. And the guy, I got to know him, and just a super nice guy, really a great guy.
Yeah, that's almost like a puppy in their collar. Like we always bury the
Yeah,
pups with their collars, but
keep them.
dang.
Yeah, their collar goes with them. It's funny because you take their collars off to give them a bath or do something, and they want their collars back on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
They're
funny how,
like, hey man, that's not natural. You better put it back.
yeah.